welcome back, everybody, to another wonderful episode of Banter on the Rocks. Got myself Tim here and John, of course, as always. And today is Monday, July 6th, and we have another loaded episode for everybody. And if this is your first time checking out the show, welcome to the chaos that is Banter on the Rocks. And to everybody who taps in each and every week, we appreciate all the support more than you'll ever know, of course. And make sure you hit that subscribe, follow, turn on the notification bell, all those buttons. Thank you so much. So that way you never miss a weekly drop from the boys here. And on today's lineup, we're going to be getting into our latest Banter takes, then moving into some summer movie bash check-in, our game show that's going on for all of the box office hits this summer. Wolfpack, we're going to have our World Cup check-in, a ton to talk about there. It gets longer every single week. Love it. And we'll have some Banter Sportsbook with a little bit of NBA updates. It's going to be a quicker segment. Soccer and football for everybody else in the world is kind of dominant at the moment. And you already know how we do it. Real conversations, unfiltered opinions, questionable takes, and plenty of banter along the way. And like we do each and every single week, I will be kicking things off with our Banter drink of the week, and we'll describe what we're sipping on, why we picked it, and how it's feeling our energy for today's episode. I'm continuing on with the mixed pack of Made West, John.
Nice.
Trying out the I don't know what I did. I think I did the hazy IPA last week. I can't remember what I did. I'm having just the pale. That's what they call it. It's like a navy blue can. Sipping it in my favorite mug in the collection at the moment. A terrific dad that capped off the Father's Day golf set that I bought.
Nice.
That Jen and the kiddos got me. So
That's awesome.
Rocking with this mug now. Love it.
Nice. That's a good one. Yeah, Made, like as we always said, Made West is good. So Made West, if you're listening, sponsor us. Let us know.
Yes,
we'll do
please.
collabs. But I'm sticking with what I normally do. Just my Taste Salud got a repacked or rebundled, restocked on the Taste Salud Jamaica because it's the top one for me. Best flavor, and some tequila. So just stick it to the same old, nothing different.
Love it. Love it. Good Taste Salud stuff. I got a couple different packs here myself. You talked me into this entire brand, John. You've done an excellent job. Shout out Josh Leva. We saw you on the TV. You were there yesterday. Sorry for the loss with Mexico, but it's a great game. Great match.
It was. And we'll talk more about that in a bit, but we'll get into our Banter takes. So this is where we do our hottest takes of the week. No prep, no warnings, no idea what's coming next. Each week, we're going to bring our hottest takes to the table without telling each other beforehand. So every reaction you're going to see, every disagreement, and every meltdown is completely real. Some takes will be smart, some takes will be terrible, and at least one of us is probably going to upset an entire fan base. So we'll get into our takes. My first take, I'm gonna get into some stuff here. So T Swift and Kelsey Aura took a major hit after they held their wedding at Madison Square Garden. Yes, it was. I will say it was like big news, but it also wasn't. I think people think. I've read a lot that it was a little overboard. How they did it at Madison Square Garden, right in the middle of New York City, on a busy holiday weekend. It took a lot of that aura out. It wasn't private. Everybody knew about it. I might get slandered for this, but some of the fans going out to sort of just watch and feel like they were a part of it was a little creepy to me. But I also get it. It's Taylor Swift, probably one of the biggest stars in the world. And I'm going to call him Mr. Swift from now on. I don't think Travis Kelce's a Kelce anymore. He's a Swiftie. So their wedding. A lot of the stuff I heard I heard it was a good wedding. I heard some drama about some of the stuff that happened at the wedding. I think one of the speeches from one of Taylor Swift's friends hit people the wrong way. Lena Dunham, I think it is,
Mm-hmm.
where she sort of, you could say, bashes NFL players. Um, Not the best look when the groom to be is a top NFL player and a big advocate for the NFL. But that's that. Um, Overall, like I say, I will say I haven't really looked into it much. Just a little bit that would pop up on my social media.
Mm-hmm.
I worried about other things. That wasn't a big deal. Um, I honestly thought they would have kept it a little bit more private. I think it would have been better if they kept it more private, more smaller, somewhere not like the city, right in the middle of New York. Maybe like, the Hamptons. I think they probably have multiple homes there. Um, and like I said, keep it a private affair, not showing off too much, because I think everybody saw what Taylor was wearing, her wedding dress, where I think it's getting compared to Tom Holland and Zendaya, their wedding. That was really private. I don't think anybody still has seen pictures of that wedding day. I think the aura took a hit, holding it there and how it was held. I don't know. What would you say, Tim? I know your wife is a big Swifty, so
Yeah, it's this is a hot topic, and it's one that I feel like perfectly suits our banter takes, because I do feel like overall, maybe a lot of people would actually kind of agree with our side of things here, because I will agree with your take here, John. Overall, I kind of have the same sentiment, and I was talking with Jen over the weekend about it too, and we both agree that her aura and just like who she is and her music and her vibes, and it just took a hit. Like, this seems more of like a Travis Kelce thing to do. Rent out Madison Square Garden, invite 1,000 people, and have Adam Sandler officiate your wedding. It's I mean, pretty cool. I like Adam Sandler a lot. That's kind of a nice touch. But the thing overall is like, she has this persona of like their engagement photo, for example, that perfectly fits Taylor Swift. I feel like that was queued up, straight on her vibe. And, there's, a ton of chatter of like when the wedding was going to happen. Everybody kind of had a feeling it was going to be in the summer. Nobody knew exactly what weekend. You said it, national holiday weekend. You're having it on 4th of July. Funny thing about that, though, side note, is there's some funny jokes going around that if they ever get divorced, they'll get divorced. Like, she'll leave it, and then
yeah.
the next day will be Independence Day, so she'll make like an album, Independence Day, My Independence or something.
That's a good one.
So she has a song queued up just in case. But overall, I just feel like, I think she has a home up in Rhode Island, if I'm not mistaken, like some
Yeah.
really beautiful beachfront home. Uh, just having it there, like renting out that beach or whatever, having her own beach, having it be super secluded, would have been a little bit more fitting for it. But it just kind of screams me, 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 having it in busy, Madison Square Garden after the Knicks win a championship. I too thought the people showing up was extremely creepy. I think there was one person that got interviewed, flew out from Europe, and it's like, you paid for your ticket, you have zero invite, you probably won't even see Taylor once in
Yeah.
person. You have the view that everybody else at home does. And then that couple, I think they're maybe from like Arkansas or something like that. And they're like, yeah, we've been checking our mailbox. We didn't see anything in the mailbox. And so we just figured we'd come on over here and check it out. And and then, we were thinking about, oh, should we have somebody stop by our house and look at our mailbox one more time, see if there's an invite in there. It's like, dude, the delusion is crazy.
It is.
They're probably in their mid-50s talking like that too, and it's like, dude, that's creepy. I hope they enjoyed New York, because I mean, they sure as hell weren't seeing the wedding, so a lot of other stuff to do.
It's something that I would have said, Tim. I think our invite actually did get lost, but we weren't gonna go
Yep.
be creepy over there. We just took it as a hint. But yeah, 1,000 people. Yeah, you got the money, but man, that's ridiculous. Don't you feel?
Definitely. Yeah, and I feel like that loses the R of it all. Like, I think there's a lot of random invites. Like there was uh, uh, late night show host, not even Jimmy Fallon. It was other guy that was previous SNL cast. Forget his name at the top of my.
Jimmy Kimmel? No, not him.
No, Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
He was there. I don't know how close of a connection they have.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just odd. So Vrabel went with his wife. You see that? Them getting in a van. He was like 5 feet in front of her. Just got in the van first. Just I don't know how things are going there.
One name I'm seeing here that I don't know. It makes me wonder some collusion. Dean Blandino.
I heard about that one.
Him getting invited. A rules analyst. Commentator in with the referees. I don't know. But I also heard a lot of NFL players were snubbed from this list.
1,000 people not getting the invite to go in. You figured, I mean, you don't have that many NFL players. You have an entire arena. You would have thought, you could have invited some more people. Was there any snubs from his actual team?
I'm trying to look it up. I'm thinking. I saw Christian McCaffrey there.
I think the wives might be close, if I'm not mistaken. Christian's wife and Taylor.
Yeah, I think Will Compton was sort of surprised that he wasn't invited because I think they always collaborate on a lot of things.
Yep.
With Tight End University.
Sure, Greg Olson was there.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't really, nothing's popping up for like people that weren't invited NFL wise, big names. One we figured wasn't going to get invited, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, Jed brought that one up. I was thrilled. Yeah. Love that for him. Love it for him. That's what they get.
Yeah, like I said, they weren't there. Oprah Winfrey not in attendance despite a high profile acquaintance. Harry Styles was one that I think people probably expected maybe would have been there, but drama between them because Harry Styles, I think, is engaged to her friend Zoe Kravitz.
That's another one.
Miles Teller and Kaylee Speary. I guess that was a big one. No.
Wow, that is a big one.
Yeah. So
was in attendance, I'm sure.
I'm guessing he was
front row.
I don't know. I wouldn't put him front row.
Is he a front row guy?
Nah, he's like back row.
Got it.
He tries to stay hidden, probably. This is like high profile. Yeah, they were there.
Okay. Tyreek Hill. Do you think Tyreek Hill gets an invite?
I don't think Tyreek Hill gets an invite.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Any New York Knicks invited? That's a big one. Brunson, Josh Hart.
I think I heard Brunson was invited.
Okay, yeah. She was a big fan at the finals.
Yeah. Yeah, so big name NFL players that were invited or reported to be there. Travis, Mahomes, Chris Jones. That's all it says for KC. The KELCE'S, Jason Kelce. Nope, doesn't show Andy Reid on this list. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman, Michael Strahan, Greg Olson, and then Dean Blandino.
That is odd with Dean Blandino. Big question mark there, Kansas City. Start the collusion talk. I think we started now.
Started now.
I got a problem with it. They're going into another season where they're not top dog in the division. Let's invite the rules analyst and see what they can work out. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Oh, yeah. But yeah.
What do you think the food situation is like? Do you get Madison Square Garden food, or are you getting something shipped in?
Oh, they got something shipped in. So some chicken tenders, nachos. I bet you Travis Kelce would have done something like that. I could see him doing that.
Definitely. Just had buckets of beer at the table.
Yeah.
Concessions open. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like the take says, the aura took a little bit of a hit. I still think she's going to be the biggest pop star. It's just people are going to look at it a little differently, how it was taken. And like I say, bigger than the royal wedding? I don't know.
I feel like it didn't get enough attention. I don't know if it's my FYP. I'm not too sure, but I have really not seen that much on this. Like, I think I've seen one video of the dress Taylor Swift was wearing. I think I saw Mike Vrabel get in the van ahead of his wife. I don't know why. I just thought that was funny. I saw the crazies out and about in front of Madison Square Garden. And then I saw Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift going through a secret door of a restaurant this past week in Brooklyn. That was about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I only saw like a few stars showing up, and I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, yeah, I'm over it. Don't really care. Didn't really care for it.
Back to football.
Back to football. Prince Charles, Diana, Princess of Wales, 1981, 3,500 guests. So not bigger than that. Okay. Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, 1,900 at the ceremony, 600 at Buckingham Palace, 300 at the evening reception. So it got smaller and smaller.
Okay.
So it got more intimate. Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, 600 ceremony guests, 200 evening reception guests, plus about 1,200 members of the public invited onto Windsor Castle grounds, not ceremony guests. So they were just probably there to sort of see it on the big screen.
Do you think that the Taylor Swift got ready in like the Knicks locker room and Travis got ready in the visitors locker room?
That's most likely. I'm thinking about. It had to be.
You know what though? I might give it to Travis in this case a little bit.
Think so?
Can you imagine how sick the groom's photos would be like in the locker room? Like you're getting ready, it's getting suited up, but you like have everything hanging in the locker. That would be kind of sick.
I don't know. But imagine a wedding dress also, same for all the ladies.
Yeah, see, I don't like it. It seems like Travis just did the whole thing, like he organized it.
But how would Cleveland fans take that, him being in the Knicks locker room? Because he's a Cavs guy.
I think you give the bride the home locker room, so he would take visitors. Yeah, maybe the aesthetic in the visitors locker room, it's never as good as the home.
No.
Probably just old wooden lockers.
Yeah.
Looks like a random high school.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
It does. Cracked walls and stuff. Lights don't even light up all the way.
Yeah, you got like Wemby's massive shoe going through one of them. I'm just kidding. I have no idea if he kicked the locker at all. I doubt
he might have.
After that game. But yeah, no, that's another thing though, is I don't know. It lost aura. I feel like the amount of people that were invited, the attention that it seemingly didn't get. I mean, I didn't really feel it. Thought it was a little odd. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
happy for him.
Yeah. No, I'm happy for them. I hope this lasts. I think we've seen Taylor's ups and downs in a relationship, but those ups and downs, you could say, have been great for music because she's always made amazing albums after a lot of breakups. But let's hope she makes different kinds of albums now that she's in love, happy, and what her future gives her.
Yeah. Hopefully it's albums more oriented towards that. Maybe children on the way. Who knows?
Maybe.
Could be exciting. A new album there. It's endless. There's lots of possibilities, John. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
Any footage of Two more final thoughts. Any footage of like what car they left in? Did they take the secret underground tunnels of Madison Square Garden? Because I'm sure there are some.
Not that I'm aware of or that I've seen.
Okay. Took
Yeah.
the subway. Imagine they
Maybe.
rented the subway. that'd be
You
something.
think you could do that?
Rent out a whole subway? She could.
Yeah, she probably could.
You know what? Brunson key to the city, I'm sure by this point. He gives access. He organized that portion, I'm sure. Would make sense. And then my other thought was, speaking of aura, I feel like a wedding, I don't know if it was truly like that, but JFK Jr., at least as it was perceived in the show that went on, going to the island there, coastline of Georgia, that kind of fit a better aura, in my opinion. Exclusive, quiet, escaped everything. Couldn't even have electricity over there, you know?
Yeah, I think that's what honestly, when I imagine their wedding, I imagine something like that. Something still big, but not this big. Something not as public, sort of private, you know, just close friends. Like I say, you still have Adam Sandler, you know, officiate the wedding, all that stuff. But like 1,000 people, you know, half those people probably were just there for the show, say they were there. How many of them will stay in touch with them closely or are really close friends? I don't know. Maybe they all are, and if they all are, great for them. That's awesome. But yeah, like I said, I think I was expecting a little bit less than what happened, but they got the money for it, so kudos to them for being able to do it.
True that. Actually, you know what? I think their aura was kind of stolen. You see that couple that climbed the Empire State Building proposed? That was legit.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
We're not advocating for it. Pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Do you see
really
the photo?
Cool. Yeah, I saw the photo. It was cool.
Yeah.
Them doing that, ballsy to do it, and then just getting arrested together after getting engaged. Hey, it's the way to go. It's the way to go.
Of course, they're a good-looking couple as well.
Yeah,
of course. You know, underneath the mask, you know, they look like they would be like those kind of like on the run couple in a action movie. You know, literally it.
Yeah, it would be. But yeah, I think that's probably the bigger aura this weekend or this week in New York in terms of marriage or proposals.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. Happy for him, though.
Happy for them. Let's hope more good music comes from it in a positive way, not in a negative way. But if it goes in a negative way, we know the hits will come for sure.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Travis and Taylor Swift.
Yes, the Swifts.
The Swifts.
Jersey gonna change?
Dude, take on that last name. That's a great football last name.
Swift.
You know? Yeah. It's a good football name.
Or Kelsey Swift.
Kelsey Swift. Yeah, Dash. Like Smith Schuster.
Yeah.
You know, another Chief. Why not?
That'd be funny.
That would be really funny. Yeah. All right. Got my take here. AI won't ruin gaming. It will finally make NPCs feel alive. Yes, this is what's got me honestly so hyped up for gaming of the future, GTA in particular, because I feel like GTA is going to be pretty groundbreaking with the usage of AI. We'll see it here and there. Like, for example, we have our gaming segments, no doubt. Like, and we had a very fun gaming night this past weekend. Real fun. And shout out Backrooms, great game. But for gaming and AI altogether, we've seen terrible usage of it. Call of Duty, terrible. With their banners, it was terrible. The art was not right. But then you move into using AI probably the right way, and you have it streamline computerized lives, perfect for Dwight Schrute's Second Life. And, it's a great way to, we've heard rumors of daily schedules, interactions, they remember you, live streaming, you get viral, all that fun stuff. And I mean, there's just a zillion different ways that you can do it. I mean, GTA is going to be one, it's going to be groundbreaking. Then let's see how we can maybe influence it in the like sports games, for example. Will we get more fan interaction in the future where it's you have your player, he's going to the locker room, you based off of your performance, AI can quickly generate like a fan reaction, like dude, you're freaking 3 of 25 from 3, you suck, and just cuss them out, whatever. Thought of that on the fly. That's actually a really good idea.
That's a good idea.
We trademarked it. Hit us up if you want the more ideas. We got plenty. But just thinking of that, like I would love that. I think that'd be sick. And then if you could have like, how 2K does it, they have like those lines show up and you choose what your response will be. Mm-hmm. You get into it, and perfect, because use it to auto generate. Obviously, I'm sure the only thing you'll be having to play online. Everybody does these days, anyways. And then just connect it through that. Have some type of engine, make your own AI. I think GTA is making their own AI, right?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. See, it's going to be so badass. But then I don't know how many lakes you have to drain for it. That's one. I don't know. I'm sure the cost is absolutely insane of creating your own AI. Maybe it's not. I'm not too sure. I'm sure it is though. So, but these companies have it. And I think that this is just going to be the start of it. So again, we're a big AI podcast. We're big fans of it. And I think that this is going to be a great way to do it. Just move beyond the art and, whatever Call of Duty tried to do, just do the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I truly think, like I say, there's good and bad to AI. We've seen some of the good. We've seen some of the bad. We're big AI fans. We use it at times just to help us make some work quicker. But then, like I said, a lot of our stuff just comes naturally. But with video games, I think the NPC mode, it's going to be amazing. I'm so stoked for that, because the NPCs back in the day with a lot of gaming in general, not just this game, it's been so bland. Like I said, you already know what the NPCs are going to do. It makes it boring. And honestly, it's the same thing with like Battlefield. When the lobbies don't fill up, you get bots. Man, with AI technology, these bots are going to be just as good as some of the top players, and it's going to make gaming so much funner, because when we have those bot lobbies, we know we're getting a bunch of kills. It'll be an easy win. But when these bots learn, and it's like, okay, we know how Tim plays. We know what he's going to do. He's sniping, so we're going to be, countering the sniping.
Yeah, too bad.
It's like it's going to make it harder, more challenging, and just a more fun experience gaming-wise for all of us. So GTA, it's going to be great. We're going to get some of these NPCs probably to start really fighting us when we run over something, or, just honk at them. They're, getting aggressive. And I really think of this like the one movie I've always enjoyed watching, Ready Player One. I honestly think GTA is getting us into that place where this is going to be like a place, almost like you say, Dwight Schrute. It's a second life. It's a second life that we're going to have in GTA, spending money, going to get gas, going to do missions, going to work, getting haircuts, all of that. And it's going to be fun. Like I say, I'm excited, but like I say, I think AI is going to be great for this type of gaming when they use it correctly.
For sure. Yeah, and I feel like that dynamic will also make the story mode a lot more fun too. It's we've seen in the past with GTA, for example, where you choose certain routes and it affects the story of the game. That is going to be like on absolute steroids when it comes to this. Like, I'm sure it'll adapt to like your player chemistry. Like, oh, dude, this guy, force of habit, just whenever I put in GTA, I am just a massive road rager. Like I will, hit people's back bumper, spin them out. It's just a ton of fun. and AI might begin hating me because of it, but whatever. In it's going to say like, oh, dude, this guy's aggressive on the roads. We all are. Nobody follows the rules, but it's just one of those things where I feel like that they could use AI towards that, and then it'll affect the chemistry of the game. The directions of things, how people react to you when you're going on a mission. Maybe it'll influence the way online. Hopefully, I mean, I haven't seen anything yet, but I'm assuming there's going to be either the casinos coming back or something close to it, and hopefully it's just like a full on Vegas kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's more than just that, like more than just one casino. Maybe we'll get multiple, and we'll get sports books in there. It'd be sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you enter the casino, it's like, oh yeah, John, the high roller's back, blah blah blah. You get like a certain welcoming,
Yeah.
Who knows, man? It's literally endless, and it's really, honestly, once all the AI is set up, I feel like it's pretty easy. You just kind of let it do its thing, and then you just set the the boundaries to what the responses could be, or else it'd be insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they'll find ways to limit it, but it's like you just got to let AI develop itself and let it learn, let it build its brain, and it's going to make that experience so crazy. But like I said, but then that's sort of the scary piece. It's like, when like Aiden Ross saying he's going to have his own server that, you actually can make money and get rich playing. What info are you going to give that AI is going to get? How are you going to be able to control that piece? These people doing these side servers that aren't, Rockstar. It's probably where it gets a little dicier, but AI, man, like I said, there's a lot of hate towards it. A lot of people that do like it. I'm a fan of it for certain things, and I think gaming, when you like you say, when you do it right, don't do it like Modern Warfare with those whack ass banners, but you do it right, it's going to make gaming experience so much more fun. I could only imagine Fallout 5 whenever that comes out in like maybe 10 years with the AI, all those NPCs and missions. It's just going to make that world so much better and so much more fun. And even though right now Fallout 4 or Fallout 76 still a big played game, like I say, I can see Fallout 5 probably being the next one, next to either Red Dead Redemption or Elden Scrolls, to sort of take over that GTA spot.
For sure. Yeah, I honestly feel like AI will be primarily best used with these RPG games because it's so easy with the amount of NPC material you have in there, and just how randomized it is, will be the easiest kind of introduction and kind of show the dominance of what AI will be in gaming. And it'll just be really effective. I feel like that it'll enhance the gaming. Like, the amount of gaming hours that people are going to put in now is going to be absurd.
Yeah.
Like it's and then you have you have the introduction of, like you mentioned, what Aiden Ross plans on doing. Like if or maybe some other streamer will come on and do something similar with even more money, who knows. And you introduce crypto, or and then you have real life currency. It's literally Ready Player One. It's that film coming to life, just minus the VR portion. And then you get some big wig like wanting to come in, some get Elon Musk wanting in. He's just got all these like great players, and literally takes them all. But that's going to be super sick. Is there any other, like, we kind of discussed like sports, like what other introductions of AI usage would you like to see, like racing, or do you feel like there's any others that might benefit a lot?
I think sports, the way you sort of gave the example, would probably be the first one I would want to see. Really getting the fans to start talking smack to you in the game, because it's actually what we do when we go to the games. When our players do bad, you sort of yell,
Yes.
And it's sort of depending on how your team's doing. If you're in a home crowd, if you're in an away crowd, I can't think. And then that, like I mentioned, RPGs like Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Red Dead Redemption. I think those would benefit a lot. Like I mentioned, shooting games, when it comes down to bots, when you don't fill the lobbies, because that does happen a lot. After that, I don't know about racing games. That one's a little, just not as dynamic. I would say they're still fun.
Hmm.
Could it make it a little bit better and more challenging? Possibly, but like I say, I think you could do it for everything.
Yeah. Another thing I've been thinking about was we kind of touched on it briefly last week with GTA is the dynamic weather. And I think AI will be able to help control a lot of that too. Like, hey, it's mid-December, more rain will occur. And maybe more rain will occur in certain regions of the map where like it rains 90% of the time here, 10% of the time here. I'm a big nerd when it comes to weather. I like weather and geography. I don't know. Don't ask me why. I just kind of have a fascination towards it. I just feel like the aspect of being able to go from one part of a game, the weather starts turning, and then it stays consistent versus like we saw it in the last GTA. Yeah, the weather changes, stuff like that, but it's the same throughout. Like you're going to get the same weather end to end on the map.
Yeah,
If it could be dynamic in that sense, we mentioned natural disasters. Like I think that they're talking earthquakes, tsunamis, things like that. Don't know how legit that is either, but that's another thing that could be kind of cool. To see how it affects the game and the way you play, and then also, um, I think if I'm not wrong, I heard that this past week that the new college football game is going to have dynamic weather where
okay.
the weather's a certain way at the beginning of the game changes throughout. And I
Throughout.
think that's really cool as well.
That's cool. Yeah.
Because we haven't really seen that either. Either you
No.
choose a rainy game or not.
Yeah. And it stays the same the whole game. Doesn't change. Yeah, no, that'd be good. I think it'd be cool to sort of see how weather, like especially in GTA, like you say, if it's like windy and rainy, how much harder a helicopter it is to maneuver in that. Because normally, even though it's raining in GTA, helicopters, all those things, easy still to maneuver. There's not much difficulty to them. Bring on that difficulty piece makes it more realistic and just makes it more of a challenge. And like I say, makes it fun and entertaining.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think at most you'd get like that like little vibration shake
Yeah.
thing, but it didn't do anything. It was
Yeah.
just an element.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool. And then depending on the type of plane you're in, like you're in like a single engine, it's like, dude, you're going to get whipped around, versus like
Yeah.
a 747 or something.
Yeah.
See, stuff like that I think would be really cool. So again, it's endless. You could use it
Yeah.
towards NPCs, weather,
Hmm.
you name it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I say, there's still going to be the conversation. And a lot of people are going to hate this topic because it's like AI is taking jobs from developers. But it's like, man, I know movies, a lot of things take many years at times, but some of these games take forever. And I think it's the one place where AI would actually help and bring more profit to some of these companies because, like I say, look at GTA. I don't know how much they use AI to develop the game, and they're going to use it in the game. But if you would use some AI to help you create the game, we could have probably had it a year, 2 years ago, not 15 years later. I feel like 10 years later.
Exactly. Yeah, we could have had it a lot sooner. And again, using it to your benefit. John mentioned it. We've mentioned it, on the show. We'll use it for certain things, and it's we both work full time at the moment. Hopefully, this turns into full time eventually. But if you're in a crunch for something, or you need like a little bit of help because you're focusing more of your attention on something else, it's like the perfect assistant. Not trying to undermine AI and just call it only an assistant. You can be your own person. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Very independent, but it's useful. And hopefully we find a way to kind of like streamline the environmental thing. I get that aspect of it. Don't get me wrong, but you know, I the benefits are there, and it's. But again, prefacing it in a way that you use it in the right way. Yeah, like we both said, not the Call of Duty route.
Yeah, not the Call of Duty route. I'm using a better route, but yeah, it's a good take. Today marks the day meant for the history books. The glizzy has arrived, and it's at Subway. All I know is that I cannot wait to get my hands on that foot-long hot dog. If this is actual
Dang.
news, I'm gonna have to look it up right now. A glizzy arriving at Subway
Yeah.
and a foot-long
I think
glizzy.
today, if I'm not wrong, I think it
Uh,
launched.
yeah,
Glizzy launched.
glizzy
Yes.
launch. Um, that's amazing. Why they haven't done it already? It's I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. So, um, let me see. But yeah, Subway comes out with a 12-inch glizzy.
See everybody
Uh,
holding it.
yeah, that's
Could be
insane.
you.
It could be me.
Could be anybody.
Yeah, no, but it's something I don't see anything wrong with it because who isn't a fan of a glizzy? And if you don't like that word, who's not a fan of a hot dog? That's fine as well. But it's like it is a traditional food. I can imagine all U.S. residents that live in the U.S. this past weekend at least had one or two glizzies. I could guarantee that a majority, if they don't have to be all meat. Bet you there was some veggie glizzy, some kale, whatever type of glizzy you decide to make.
We had a bratwurst yesterday.
Yeah, we had bratwurst and they were
Pretty good.
delicious. It's a food that in America at least everybody eats, especially during this time of the year, the holiday. Joey Chestnut, he ate, I think it was like 65 glizzies.
66. Yeah.
66.
Yep. Beast.
Still a beast eating though. So Subway doing this, man, it's crazy. And like I say, it might be you might have a difficult time finding it at Dodger Stadium, but Subway, they'll make it fresh.
They'll make it fresh. Yeah. It's totally them. And I completely agree with you, John. I don't know why it took them so long. I mean, give the people what they want, and it's hot dogs. I mean, just ask the Hot Dog Council of America. A bad day to be a hot dog. And yesterday and this past weekend completely was. It was a terrible weekend to be a hot dog because, I mean, like you said, most Americans had at least one or two of those bad
Yeah,
boys, just wolfed down. Easy business. And, again, Subway has all the toppings. They have everything. You could make a
they got
Chicago style dog. You could
yep.
make an LA dog. You could make it, I don't know, New York style. Um, Questionable, like what kind of buns they're going to have, though. I don't know
I
what they're doing.
well, that's what I was gonna ask. It looks like it's still the normal buns that they use. So it's like, are you gonna go a regular bun? I see
Mhm.
one here. Someone doing the artesian cheese. It looks like bun. I'm like, okay, would be interesting.
Yeah. And then, you know what, John? Does this help my case that a hot dog is a sandwich? Was that my argument? Right?
That was the
Yeah,
argument.
they're using the sandwich bread.
Well, I guess
Subway
if you
agrees.
so maybe they do agree. We still got to take this to the hot dog council. Hot dog and
Yeah.
what is it? The hot dog.
Hot Dog Council? Yeah, we
Yeah.
follow them
So
on Instagram.
yeah.
We'll clip it.
Yeah, we got to see what they think about this and actually ask them, is a hot dog a sandwich? Because now a sandwich place is actually making them.
Yeah, no, and just like last time, John, I think we just queued up another like national appearance for them because last time they were on, or we were on talking about the Hot Dog Council. Literally, I think like a few days later, threw out the
Yeah.
first pitch at the
Yeah.
Nats game.
Yeah.
You can't make it
Yeah.
up.
No, yeah. This would be interesting. I'm going to see if it's already available at my local Subway because I'm a fan and I'm just curious. I got to try it out.
Yeah, no, food review I think is got to be incoming. We have a Jersey Mike's really close, walking distance of where we're at, but I got to go find a Subway.
Yeah.
I see. I haven't said I need to go find a Subway in quite some time. Shout out Subway, but I'm gonna say it. It's and then what kind of dog are they using? I don't know what kind of meat they're going
Yeah.
for. Again,
We got to give it a taste test.
taste test. Yeah, absolutely. First choice, would you go LA style? Do the mayo?
It's what I'm looking. I don't know because, like I say, they don't have some of the stuff like the aioli.
Mm,
The lettuce is a little different.
yeah.
So it's like, do you make it like I say? How about if you want a chili dog? Are they going to start serving chili, or do you got to use marinara sauce? Make it a marinara dog.
Marinara dog. Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Hey,
it's like, hey,
Subway, hit us up. We got ideas now. Yeah, you're cooking. I like that. Marinara
so
dog.
a
That's a good
marinara
one.
dog. I see one with
Marinara
like
dog.
Doritos, the nacho cheese Doritos.
Whoa. Okay.
It's interesting. Like I say,
Let's build the
but
demos on this one.
yeah, like I said, they have so many ingredients there that you could make it, and it's like, I don't think Subway has ketchup. Do you? I know some people say no
Ooh.
ketchup on a hot dog, but I need my ketchup.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they got to introduce some type of ketchup situation. Blend up some tomatoes. Imagine. Throw some random ingredients in. Oh, yeah, homemade ketchup. We got it.
Yeah, maybe throw some, like, a hot dog, throw some pepperoni on it.
Yeah. Yeah. They have bacon too. You could get a bacon dog going.
Bacon dog. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is great. I think Subway's comeback tour has started. This is the way to do it, and you're getting a foot-long one. On the video that we had at the Dodger game where I couldn't find the hot dog, the famous Dodger dog that was going on, we had somebody asking where the tacos were. I was a little disappointed that they didn't ask, did you find out where the glizzy was? They were like, oh, those tacos look great. Where'd you find the tacos? Answered them, but I'm like, you sure you don't want to know where that hot dog was? And
the hot dog was.
See how it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And I see someone that posted a video. It's a question we asked, or the question you sort of answered: is a hot dog a sandwich? You settled that debate, or I think you settled your side of that debate months ago before this came out. So we might have to reclip that one just to sort of show that we've been discussing this way prior than people are talking about it now.
Exactly why we started the show, John. This was group chat material, and now we got it filmed.
There's this one guy. I got to find this one video 6 days ago. This guy's just hawking down the glizzy, no bun, just by itself.
Raw dog?
Raw doggy. No, please straight up just. I got to start watching these videos.
Any condiments?
Nope.
Oh, you know what though? I appreciate that, because if is it a review video or is it just like a mukbang?
Trying the viral Subway hot dog from Subway. That's it.
Okay. If he gives like a number out of 10, I kind of respect it, because if you go, like, let's just say you go full on like sub hot dog, the sub dog, I don't know what they're going to call it, but then you just go raw dog on one, you can test the meat and just do a sample of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of respect the game.
It's saying all beef footlong. All beef. It says juicy and satisfying. This is per Subway. Loaded with your faves. Footlong. Bigger, better.
Oh, bigger.
That's what it says. That's what this sub dog is. It's called a sub dog.
Yeah.
Soft launching at select locations now. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Just kidding. They had it. I stole it. Wow. Select locations or nationwide?
It says select locations, soft launching. So yeah, we got to try our local Subways.
Well,
I'm just gonna walk in. I'm just gonna walk in. I'm gonna be like, "You guys got the glizzy here?" No. Oh, fuck you guys. I'm out.
No. You want to try the one downtown LA? They got it. And yeah, you can't soft launch the hot dog. You got a hard launch.
Yeah.
When it comes to hot dogs, you just got to go for it, because I think the crowd reaction is going to be really good on these.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and then do they offer the people? This is a big tradition, I feel like, when it comes to Subway and some other sub shops. Cut it in half, or are you eating that whole thing just completely together? What do you do, John?
Oh, I'm fucking taking it. I think I'll take it all. I don't want that cut in half. I
Yeah.
want to experience it like that. Then,
Yeah.
depending on how it is, I'll cut it in half.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's like if everyone wants
Yeah.
to share, we'll take a side each.
Yeah. No, for
A
sure.
little Lady and the Tramp type hot dog review.
So sweet. That's great. Yeah. And, you know, that phenomenal. And some people like to do this too. I just watch way too much food content. Sometimes people like the hot dog wrapped and then it lets like all the condiments kind of absorb, the bun kind of absorbs, everything that you put on it. Are you the type to let it do that, or are you going to eat it like once you get to the car, like immediate?
Depends on the situation. Like I say, if I have to go home, I'll wait till it gets home. If not, if I'm just chilling in my car, I could eat it. I'm gonna eat it in my car.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing
Yeah.
too. Can you imagine if we just see like a bunch of people on the road now just chowing down a foot long?
Dude, like I say, it's normal going to. I was at Costco today and I had a hot
Yeah,
dog, and you just driving, eating it like with the ketchup, all that stuff on it, easy. A foot long, holding that with one hand. I don't know how you could do that.
Yeah. No, yeah, no, I don't know.
You're gonna have to eat like half of it before you start driving.
They need to come up with like some type of cardboard holder,
Yeah,
maybe for your car. Like
they
know
should.
you're going to eat this in your car.
Yeah,
Be safe while you drive. And then it's like a giant stand right there
yeah.
in your center console.
Oh man,
Just get
yeah,
to
they
chew it
should.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. No,
crazy.
because I feel like I would be one. Like most of the time, I can't. It's really tough for me to let food wait until it gets home.
Yeah,
Really tough.
yeah.
Sometimes I'm able to power through and do it, no problem. A lot of times I can't. And for example, 4th of July, we stopped at Jack in the Box. Of course, I think I only did 4 tacos. It's pretty good. Usually I do like 6 because they're easy to
Yeah.
eat. But you're perfectly right. It gets messy. And when we arrived back in the garage over here, I was looking down at my shirt when the light finally was showing on my shirt, and I looked down. There's like a bunch of it's like some lettuce, some taco shell, and I looked at Jen. I'm like, you know what? Not as bad as I thought. you know? So it's just how it goes.
And you got it, like especially like those tacos at Jack and even like Taco Bell. You leave the tacos in that wrapping too long, they get stuck. You don't get the full taco experience. So that's why it depends on the food. You got to eat it immediately. These glizzies, I think you can maybe wait a bit so it doesn't get as bad, but you want it fresh. Like I say, if you could wait till you get home, it's not that far of a drive, maybe. Especially safety wise, if you're not going to cut it in half or cut it into fours, because like I say, even a 6-inch one is probably pretty tough to drive with. So, but yeah, this is news to me. It could poke many eyes out. Um, but this is news to me, and honestly, like whenever I pass by a Subway, I would be very interested in maybe stopping by and just asking. You got the glizzy? Got the glizzy for me, and if you got it, I'm for it. If you don't, just walking out.
Are you the type to call ahead of time? Hey, do you got that hot dog? Or are you just going in and just being
I'm just going in.
Hey, heard you all got that? You got the glizzy.
Yeah, saw it on TikTok. Where's the glizzy?
So good. And you know what? I might be the type that goes in there. I'd ask if they had it, and if they said no, I would just I would just leave.
Yeah. There's nothing really worth it for me. And like I say, if I'm not really like starving, I would just leave. I'd go find something else. But, anytime there's a Subway, there's multiple food areas, and I might prefer something else. But if they have the glizzy, I'm there for it.
Yeah. No, agree. Yeah. Completely agree. Yeah. This is big news, America. Hit it up. I've only watched one review, and I saw them. I didn't see the person eat it. Only the decorations of the condiments going on. Looked like they're going Chicago style. Really respected the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff.
Yeah. I'm not going to take that review though seriously. If you're not eating it, I can't take your review seriously. I have to see you munch on it and swallow it, not just give me show. Oh, this is this, and it's so tasty. If I don't see you eating it, you ain't actually a food reviewer.
Agree. Yeah, if I don't see you try to like jam the food in the corner of your mouth to talk, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, we don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
We got to
it's
hit up that hot dog council. We got to ask these questions.
yeah, and see if they're gonna go review it, or if they'll maybe like repost our reviews on
Yeah.
theirs and use it as valid. You know,
Yeah.
these guys know what they're talking about.
Yeah. No, we know what we're talking about,
We do.
council. Let us
Yeah,
know. But yeah,
let us know.
those are our takes for this week. Agree or disagree? Think one of us or both of us have lost our mind, especially over these glizzies? Let us know. Drop your banter take in
Yeah.
the comments. Let us know what side you're on for this week. But we'll continue on. We'll go into our Banter sports book. This is where we put our sports knowledge, predictions, or reputation on the line, from the biggest games to the hottest storylines to championship races. We're going to talk surprise contenders, bold predictions. We're covering everything that's happening across the sports world that hits our timeline and just our mind. So no betting slippers required. We're just going to do a lot of sports talk, strong opinions, and plenty of banter. If you really do want to know about bets, let us know. We'll give you our best bets for the week on our TikToks, Instagrams. Just because we recorded this, put this out a little bit later, so we can't give you the most accurate bets for when you're watching this. But we'll open up the book and we're just going to do a little NBA talk. It seems like the big NBA free agent sweepstake is still alive. LeBron James still hasn't signed anywhere. One of the rumors I heard looks like going back to Cleveland. It's number one spot, but I think Golden State's still a top contender.
Still in there. We talked a little bit about, Draymond Green not taking, opting out, maybe taking a little bit less money. He wouldn't do that unless he actually thought LeBron was going to leave the Lakers, potential of him joining forces with the Warriors. And I agree. I think the biggest teams and a dark horse, I think that Cleveland and Warriors are the two biggest teams. Dark horse team, I think the Miami Heat. I could see him having a return over there, especially with Giannis. He would be really the element that, the Heat kind of need. Two bigs, not much of a guard situation. He could really assist with that. And then you get Bronny over there too. Let him run, the pointer shooting guard a little bit, get in the mix for a low budget type player there. And, but quite frankly, we just got to stay tuned to Rich Paul. And I don't know if you saw Rich Paul go on Max Kellerman's show / podcast this past week, and he brought a mega whiteboard, big old whiteboard. I love whiteboards as much as the next guy, but he brought up, I think it was like 10 teams, and he just started writing like 4 names per team and being like, Warriors, Steph, Dre, and then like he'd do like the Sixers actually are another team in there. And then he just did like all these like connect the dots kind of thing. And it was just
what's this guy doing?
Whiteboard guy. I don't know.
What's this guy doing?
If you type in Rich Paul in Google, I think whiteboard shows up first.
I see the whiteboard and it's like, like what is Rich Paul doing? Like I understand he's LeBron trusts this guy. They're childhood friends, but going on to a show like Max Kellerman, and Max Kellerman's someone that a lot of people in sports, I respect Max Kellerman. I know his takes, sometimes he has some of the craziest takes. But going on something like that and putting this info out there, it's not a good look for someone that's just supposed to be an agent overseeing, yes, this is your idea, but why are you putting it out there for everybody? It's not a good look for you, your company. It's not a good look for LeBron. I think it's a mistake. And I was going to say you're probably joking, but I see the pictures and I'm like, yeah, you're not joking. He actually took that whiteboard.
He took the whiteboard, all right. Whiteboards kind of have these certain aspect of like give you the teacher vibe. It kind of makes you feel a little bit smarter in the moment too. Like, yeah, see, like we're working on all this stuff in the background. It's just like a bunch of names with the teams showing up. And yeah, it's just Rich Paul, has been obviously quite successful. But a big part of me that, all of this kind of instilled, and I don't know if, my reaction is correct to the whiteboard thing. I just thought it looked a little goofy. Do you think Rich Paul continues having a really successful agency after LeBron retires?
No. I've always inside felt, and I hate to say it, I think Clutch, once LeBron retires, it may not be as successful without LeBron's name in the league. Unless LeBron goes into coaching immediately, it could stay a success, but without LeBron there, I think it loses some aura, almost like Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce lost. It's going to lose some aura because you don't have that big name to be able to do this. You can't do what he just did with any other player under Clutch Sports. So I don't think they will be as successful. I think LeBron's name has made Clutch what Clutch is, but once he's gone, it's going to change. And what I'm looking at it, and I'm like, you needed a whiteboard for all that? I was like, you could just have a discussion and talk about, like, okay, this is who's on the 76ers, blah, 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 and LeBron. Just imagine how great that would be. Why a whiteboard?
Do you think Max had that in his studio, or do you think he carried that in?
I think he might have carried it in. It's not one that you normally have. Those are expensive whiteboards. I've seen it for our job. We have one in our building, and it's pricey. I wanted one in my office because I do a lot of whiteboard stuff. It wasn't part of our budget, so
Sick.
It's pricey.
See, I love a good whiteboard just as much as the next person. I think it's badass. I just think in this circumstance, it's kind of funny. It'll look kind of old school in a way, and just the way that he was doing it. Other question, my final one probably on the topic. He says 27 teams reached out. So 3 did not. What 3 do you think did not technically reach out?
Spurs.
Oh, okay.
Who else didn't reach out? Probably New York, the Knicks. I don't think they would have reached out. Who else wouldn't have reached out? Boston, maybe? I don't know, though.
Yeah.
Boston, maybe. Boston probably would have reached out.
Yeah.
Spurs, Knicks. Those are the only 2 I can think of right now.
Yeah. Spurs is a name that I feel like has come up. Just the aspect of the team. I've seen him clipped in, like, somebody like memed him over a Spurs uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see them not reaching out. I could also see, I don't know if they're including the Lakers in this technically. But that's here nor there. The Knicks is another one I agree with. I think that they already have, good aspects there. I feel like the Celtics did reach out because of the Jaylen Brown situation, just as a little bit of a backup. Yeah. The other teams that kind of came to mind was Memphis, because what's going on in Memphis?
They probably knew, like, it's not even worth it.
Yeah, like, we're not even gonna try. And yeah, it's. I think if I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm putting words in his mouth with this, but I think LeBron wasn't a fan of, like, a hotel he stayed in Memphis whenever they traveled there. I think I heard about that. And then the other name that kind of came to mind was just the Trailblazers. I know that they're trying to get something going. They've already made a move for Ja, but it just seems like one of those teams that's still, like, building a little bit. Dame is just at a point in his career where he's not even that effective anymore. Maybe if this was a little bit before. Maybe the Kings is another one. Kings are going nowhere.
That could be, yeah. They're going anywhere, really, so.
I don't know. But those are just the ones. I think everybody else did. And I do believe 27 teams would reach out.
Yeah. But it's LeBron James. Even if it's not for his game, he's not the same game changer he was years ago when he first came to the Lakers. He still can make a big difference, but you bring him on for the name, for the money. Because what is he going to bring to your arena? The fans, you could price up your tickets 7x, and people are still you're gonna sell out because it's LeBron James. He's there. So money wise, as an owner, it makes sense because you're gonna make money off of this. It's almost like the Ohtani one. You're paying him a shitload of money, but they've already paid for him in the first 2 years. Like I said, the rest of the years it's free money for them. They have Otani's money just saved there, ready to give to him every year that he gets some. So I for sure see everybody going after him. The team, like I say, I see the teams here that Rich Paul sort of put up for LeBron. We got 76ers, the Heat, and Timberwolves, Nuggets, Cavs. So those are the 5 teams. Out of the teams here, I don't know if Timberwolves would be the best fit. I would take them out. I don't think they could win with LeBron.
No. And then the addition of LaMelo, I don't think LeBron, he's like, I played with your brother, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. The Heat, he could be the ball handler up front. I don't trust Mitchell Wiggins. So you could sort of play that point guard position a bit more. Mm-hmm. Could be successful. 76ers, he's just going to blow up 76ers. That team, Edgecomb's career is going to take a big dip from that. I think the most solid team, Denver. Murray, Johnson, Gordon, Jokic. I think that's his best fit.
I agree. And that's a team that is really teetering on losing a lot of their talent. Like Jokic hasn't re-signed. That's a big question mark. You know, who knows? Maybe he'll end up leaving himself. You know, could this be kind of a big savior? You know, I guess to kind of keep them there a little bit longer. But yeah, I don't know. Weird the Warriors weren't on there.
It's because I think the Warriors, it's just Steph. It's like, can you do it with Steph and Draymond and then whatever pieces you put together? And it's what he's done every move, and it hasn't really been successful without a big three.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. Mickey Mouse championship doesn't count. You know, and from what I heard, AD Wizards aren't moving on AD, right?
No, yeah, I heard they're out. I heard that they want to stick with him. They even added Ayton now. It's like you get, 3 former first overall picks now? They're really compiling there. You know, they solid bigs now. Wizards are a team to look out for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess final guess, Sean. If you had to guess, where do you think he ends up playing?
Cleveland. I'm just going to say Cleveland.
That's my guess. I guess he's been there the last 2 weeks after his, and then he had that little reunion with all of his former Cavs players that he won the finals with this offseason. Mm-hmm. Seems like it's a lot of reminiscing on Cleveland stuff. I see him going back there, especially with the talent that Cleveland has. It puts him in a good spot to have the potential to win.
Yeah.
Harden's still there? He opted out, right? Or did
he's a free agent right now, so
okay. Might help.
Yeah, but we'll see. Might help. But I was gonna ask you, Yaxel looking like a good steal.
Didn't miss in that opening match or opening game. Solid. And then our second pick, he shot over 80% from the field as well and had a super good game. So both of them, man, they just badass. I think Yaxel was 4-4 from 3 as well. Love that.
Yeah. Looking like a good pickup. And like I say, I think that LeBron might be waiting sort of to see how these rookies are playing in Summer League, to sort of see who has a good future with the young stars too that could probably take some of the load off of him. And, Golden State looks like that place right now.
For sure. He could be that guy. There's no doubt. Kind of like a swing big, play the perimeter a little bit and, mix it in with LeBron. Your Clips, man. Rui Hachimura today. Yep. Big signing.
I like
that one.
Yeah. I think it'll be good for us. Well, we'll see what we continue doing. I think we're in a little bit of a rebound stage. We got plenty of good draft picks, so I'm excited for the future. Hopefully, we're smarter and not just trying to trade for wins. I don't think it works well in the NBA, so you got to draft. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see you on the
Yeah.
LeBron sweepstakes. We'll see where our teams take us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rich Paul, nice whiteboard.
Yeah. And the only other thing, Lakers play Robbie Avila. If you got him on your roster, let him shoot. Let this kid shoot. If you're going to keep him on the bench, riding the bench, release him. Give him to someone that's going to use him and show off this, this guy's playmaking.
Absolutely. And then you can have like a goggles giveaway night.
Yeah.
Just keeping it old school. Robbie Avila. That's gonna, if he makes the roster with the Lakers, it's gonna be a great jersey to go and get for the Lakers, because he's gonna get a lot of fan support.
Wherever he goes.
He just looks like one of us. Getting out there and just hooping. Dude's a badass.
Yeah. Get their jersey with his nickname, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
It's so good. The Lakers are so fitting.
Yeah.
The goggles, just like Kareem. That's the best.
Yeah. No, it's good. But that's our Banter Sportsbook. There hasn't been much more. Like I said, I think we'll go into our next topic, which is probably our bread and butter right now with this tournament. Our Wolfpack Soccer Check-In. So this is where we talk all things football, from Tim's Wolves fandom journey, now in the Championship League, not in the Premier League, to Premier League drama within all the leagues, transfer rumors, heartbreak, overreactions. Everything happened around the world of football. And with the World Cup here, we're just diving into the biggest storylines, looking at scores, giving our takes on everything that's been so exciting about this tournament. So whether your team is flying high, you guys have been eliminated, making questionable decisions in the game, we got plenty to talk about. So grab your drink, join the pack, and we'll get into some football talk. And since the last time we were on here, Tim, a lot has happened. We were here June 29th, so we ended with Netherlands, Morocco, penalty losing, Germany losing. And I think we'll go over the games, and I think when we go over some of the games, we'll have our little takes on some of these teams, players. But Ivory Coast, Norway, the first game after our last episode, big win for Norway. Erling Haaland, that guy's a beast, man. He's had 2 games since our last show, and we could talk about that game too. Brazil, Norway. The way this guy manhandled the Brazil team, his aura has shot up 1,000%.
It absolutely has. That dude, the way he plays, the memes that are going around about him. I love the one with him like holding like a Viking spear, and just him like getting ready to run across the field, and how he's just an absolute beast. I think I shared a clip with you, John, of how he was like chasing one guy down, he runs into him, he gets knocked over, and he just kind of continues on his way, like going after the ball. It's like his sole focus is on that, and if you just happen to get in the way of him, like look out. He's crazy.
It's crazy, and just his size too, because even in that video, like when he's next to that Brazilian player, because it was from the Brazil-Norway game, that guy's just so tall. Like nobody can handle him, and like I say, in that Brazil-Norway game, his header, man, that fool has an amazing header, and he has a height. Like nobody could compete with that team jumping. All of the Norwegian players, they're like 6'10", I feel like, and these Brazil team, they couldn't manage it. So what he does, how he runs, and how passionate he gets, in that video you showed, when he got to the player that passed it, he like yelled out of frustration that he didn't get it, but continued going with the ball and just nonstop.
Yeah, and then just his smile that he gives after a goal. It's just like the most like happy-go-lucky, complacent smile of all time. It's just, I don't know if you've seen that other meme of like I forget what movie it's from, but it's like the fish laying down on the rock and he just like quickly turns up and starts smiling. I'll have to send it to you. It's
Okay.
a great reference, and it just fits his vibe. It's just like, so conspicuous, but at the same time,
Hmm.
it's like, what is he up to? And
Yeah.
you're trying to figure it out. And I saw another clip of today of him like he was like walking on the pitch, like kind of slightly out of the play against Brazil, and then a crosser comes in, and then he just does like his absolute, trademarked header and easy goal,
Yeah.
and then we
Yeah.
see that freaking missile he kicks off, his for that second goal, dude. What a
Yeah.
beast!
Yeah, that first goal. Yeah, I saw that video where he's just sort of walking. He's watching the play, and that's what I like about some of these players. And sometimes some of these people, non big football fans, would say like, "Oh, this guy's lazy. He isn't doing anything to help the team." But he's analyzing, like analytically in his head. He's looking at the play and he's figuring out where he has to go. And once he sees the play, you see him looking at it, and he's sort of like breaking it down. He's like, okay, now I go, and that's where he just jumps and heads it, and it's like he had that plan the whole time from how the play was developing. So, and yeah, that second goal, I don't even think he was trying. I think it got to his foot from the looks of it. He turned, shot that missile, and then he turned again, and he was just smiling, celebrating, taking his ponytail off, like I just did that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's just comes so easy to him. And it's almost like that Nikola Jokic vibe where, he lets the game kind of play off of his pace versus him trying to get to the pace that everybody else is going. And it works. Luka's another great example of that too, where they just nonchalantly do incredible things. And that's exactly what Holland does. But even more of an athlete than those two guys I just mentioned. Not taking away from them, great athletes altogether, but just what he does, his sprinting speed. He can be an absolute pinball machine whenever he wants, but at the same time, like you said, he can be analytical. He can stay back and just be patient. And it took him till past the 75th minute to get those goals. Look how long, I didn't see much of the match before that, but the way I take it is he wasn't overly involved, and then boom, he's just accurate, gets it done, and knows how to do it.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's that type of footballer. So yeah, Norway beating Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast was in it. I thought they could have won it. I thought they were going to upset. I've talked about Ivory Coast this year to you, a great underdog team, played well. I think Norway's just on a freight train right now. And then the next game they played just 2 days ago against Brazil. Big win for them. I don't think many people had them beating Brazil. This Brazilian team, we were talking, yesterday, or yeah, it was yesterday when we were at my sister's watching the games with Rob. Like this Brazil team, like when I look at it, it doesn't scare me or it doesn't wow me the way the Brazil teams of the past did back in the '90s, early 2000s when they were winning World Cups. Like this team, two players, I'm like, okay, cool, and that's about it. And honestly, shout out to Neymar getting that final goal, but he isn't the guy, man. I think they could have called up better players, other players that weren't there that would have done so much more for this team than what this team had. So they're gonna have to do a rebuild. I think they still have a solid squad that could make a run, but some of these teams that are developing, they're not going to be competing the way they probably used to in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I was talking with Jen about it over the weekend, and then, kind of briefly mentioned it yesterday. Do you feel like a lot of that has to do with talent developing elsewhere? For example, we had South Island on, and Ryan did a fantastic job kind of describing the landscape of New Zealand football, the academies that are there, what they're trying to make it, what they all the way up to what they've have made it now. Do you feel like the playing field is getting much more equal than it has been in the past? Or do you think it's just truly one of those things where Brazil just doesn't have the talent at them?
I think it's getting equal, but I also think it's Brazil has the talent. I think it's just a lot of players that are a little too, how do I say it in a nice way? They're just too cocky. Like I say, Vinny. Vinny is probably the best player for Brazil, but like that team, he's a little too cocky for me. I don't like the way he plays. It's almost, I'll say it, it's almost like an Mbappe. Mbappe frustrates me. He triggers me. But I know he is one of the best players in the world. But just the way he plays, of like he's the shit. It's that type of attitude, I think, that hurts a team, and I think it hurt Brazil this year. Having Neymar on there just because of trying to be there at his fifth World Cup, when he isn't the same player I think he was at beforehand. Um, I think that's what it is more. I don't think they're not great players. I just think it's a little bit more of an equal playing field, but it's also that cockiness that sort of hurts the team dynamic.
Absolutely. No, that makes sense. And yeah, you prefaced it really well back when, the teams were being introduced, and, you thought it was a mistake that Neymar was introduced over some of the other players that should have gotten the opportunity. And you pair that with the cockiness, and it just doesn't work. It's maybe over time maturity will happen. It doesn't always happen when, a lot of these teams are just thrown together. And maybe that's the way it kind of came out with Brazil. Is it was just kind of thrown together versus maybe a lot of development behind the scenes to build the chemistry a little bit more.
Yeah.
You'd know better than I, but yeah, just didn't seem like it was a good mix. It's certainly not the Brazils we're used to seeing.
Yeah, it's not the same type of Brazils from the past. So I think it's an unfortunate loss. Unfortunate loss for Neymar not being able to get further. Like I say, I never like to laugh at people crying, but he was really distraught after that loss. But it's like you weren't a big part of the team. It's like this is a team game, and unfortunately, all the stuff you always did every year, you never were able to make the big show. Because I think one of their biggest losses when they were favorites was in Brazil, and they lost, I think it was like 6 something to Germany. I don't know if you ever see the highlights of that. They got like smacked in the knockout stages, and it was
Yikes.
an embarrassment to them. And ever since then, I feel like they haven't been the same team.
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago, right? How long ago was that?
18 maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember that. I think I remember that. Yeah, and Germany kind of looked
14,
really
18
good. Yeah.
sometime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but yeah, those were some of those first games. One of the next games from last week, still France, Sweden. France has just been doing what they're doing. Beat Sweden 3-0, and then they went on, beat Paraguay 1-0. Um, Not a surprise with that game versus Sweden. The game against Paraguay, maybe you could say a little bit of a surprise. I think we expected them to score more goals. Paraguay, I will say, I think at the beginning of this tournament, I mentioned a team that was really good defensively. They got to the World Cup because they beat Brazil, they beat Argentina by being a great defensive team. So I knew they had a good defense. But what they were playing against France, I don't think they were playing defense. I think they were playing just sloppy.
Sloppy, ruthless. Some will say dirty. Quite a few people have been saying that. I saw some of their antics just look like they're hyper focused on getting under the skin of the French players. France didn't, give in too much. It seems like there's like one where, he got behind Dembele and like tried stepping, around like his kind of vicinity in between his legs, and Dembele just kind of turned around and smiled and kind of laughed him off in a way. And it just seemed like they focus on the wrong things, and it seems like a game that they probably could have even won if had they have put a little bit more focus into, playing more natural
Mm-hmm.
and, focusing on what they know even more, and not playing so dirty. So didn't get to watch, much more than just highlights of it. But again, they made it happen with France, and France kind of came back down to earth a little bit in this match for sure. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, there was a lot of talk that, oh, the U.S., when they beat Paraguay, what, 4-0
Yeah,
in the first match,
4-1, I
and
think it was.
4-1, and everybody's like, oh, it's just Paraguay, and then nobody's saying that now that they, France barely beat 1-0, and how quickly things can change. So, that's kind of interesting aspect of things. But again, France still got it done. Fantastic team.
Yeah, fantastic team. Probably the favorites of the tournament, but we'll talk a little bit more about their next matchup. We'll go to the next game that happened, Mexico versus Ecuador. We'll talk a little bit of Mexico as well. Mexico beat Ecuador 2-0. Very good win for them. I would say this was the first game I felt like they were like one of the top teams of this tournament. They finally played well. I was happy to see how they played and had a lot of confidence in them moving forward, because I didn't like the way they played in the group stage. I've mentioned it here before. Not the most impressive Mexico, but when it came down to Mexico versus Ecuador, they played awesome. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the next game they had. Took a lot of momentum into that game.
Absolutely. Yeah. With the match against Ecuador, you could tell was getting really frustrated by the outcome. With the defender late in the match getting the red card and sent off, covering his mouth, little altercation there. Mexico looked very dominant that match. I agree with you. I think it was their best match of the tournament. They really showed, who they were. And that's kind of crazy to say because they had won every match up until that point. But they truly showed, how great they are. And I really, really, really love the dynamic of Quinero and Raul Jimenez. I thought both of them had a phenomenal tournament. I'm so pumped for the Wolves. Quick shout out for Raul Jimenez. Do you mind if I lead into the match that we saw yesterday? He was just plain unlucky. All of his attempts, I feel like, are just sheer no luck on his side. They were fantastic. He had a couple header attempts that I think were right there. He had some great shots on goal that were mere inches away, or a fantastic save by Pickford. Luckily, he got one, on the penalty. But again, it was just, and I just feel like that's how the whole match kind of went for Mexico. Just plain and simple, unlucky. Quinero had a fantastic goal. England kind of put my words in my mouth. I'll give it to him. He wasn't hot in Mexico City, but the elements were certainly there, and you're playing at altitude. You're going into Azteca, that they are utterly dominant in that stadium. And they did a fantastic job. I'm kind of a low-key, I really liked what I saw out of Bellingham. I thought he had a fantastic match, and the way he did it, like back-to-back, like in 2 minutes. I asked you guys, I was like, dude, is that the quickest back-to-back of all time?
I think so far this tournament, it might be.
Yeah, uber talented, man. And I also saw a really cool moment with Bellingham where all the English players skipped over it was a gentleman in a wheelchair. I think it was in Mexico.
Yeah.
And Bellingham walked up, did the whole interview in Spanish. Big shout out to him. Really classy. Exchanged jerseys with Mora at the end. Again, pure class. So you got me as a fan if the way you're handling yourself and the way you're on the pitch.
Yeah. I can see you're repping his team.
I am, yeah, today. Yeah, I am. You're right. And maybe I kind of jinxed it wearing a Wolves jersey yesterday, but it was all shout out for Jimenez. But yeah.
Yeah.
No, put my words in my mouth. I mean,
No.
what can I
Yeah.
say?
Yeah,
What me?
you could say it. I think you could tell it was getting to them, but Rob sort of mentioned it because we saw the game was delayed an hour because of rain. The rain helped England, honestly, because those English players, when you look at English Premier League games, a lot of them are played in the rain, and they're really good at playing in the rain. So they knew that weather, that environment, they were set for it. So that could have been a little bit of an advantage, but overall, my take for this game, unlucky for Mexico. Like I say, it's hard for me to say it because as a Salvadorian, we cannot root for Mexico, but I truly think all Salvadorians, Guatemalan, Central Americans, Hispanics that are not from Mexico, were rooting for Mexico for this game, and it was a tough loss. They had so many opportunities. Pickford just was blocking so much. He's never played that great, I would say. So that guy, you got to give him his kudos. Bellingham, just amazing, and and then Harry Kane as well. I truly thought once England got that red card at it was like the 50th minute, I thought it was over. I thought Mexico was gonna just find ways to score, and Mexico was pressing a lot. They had a lot of opportunities after that. I think they made some mistakes with subs, taking out Quinones, some of these other players. I told Rob and Fidel, because I think you're already gone. When I saw Santi Jimenez come in, I thought it was the biggest mistake. I don't think that guy should have been on the field. I could have thought of other players that would have been a lot better, younger, had more energy. And unfortunate for him too, because I think he got a bad injury towards the end of the game that he wasn't even in it, and they didn't have a sub to sub him out, so they were playing 10-on-10.
That's
Made
right.
it an even playing field. So hopefully all is well with him, but I just didn't think that was the right sub at that moment. But kudos to England, they did it. They walked in there. They walked into the Lions Den as the three Lions and were able to take out Mexico. I was saying if Mexico got through England, I honestly think they could have probably won the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Mexico looked that strong, for all facets. They just had a great tournament overall, and I think that they should keep their heads up because, I mean, a lot of good young talent, in my opinion. That will help them in future World Cups. It's just great team, really fun team to watch as well. Just see him go out there, the energy that they had. It was really fun watching them play in Azteca. But overall, again, keep their heads up because it was a really solid tournament altogether. And I agree with you on the subs. I was listening on the trek back home yesterday, leaving at halftime, and there was, just hearing Mora subbed out. I think that the reason Mora was subbed out was, I guess he kind of let up and was a reason for that second goal that Bellingham had. So a little bit more understandable in that aspect. And then I guess their reasoning was they needed somebody, I guess a couple players to come in that were stronger on the attack, supposedly. The Quinones was questionable because that guy's the best attacker you have, arguably.
Yeah.
Instead, Raul. So I don't know, man. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. England, phenomenal job. Nothing you can do. Rough day for. I hope his arm's okay. Obviously, taking that seriously. No jokes. But he got a yellow card on the sideline.
I think it's Henderson.
Henderson.
I think it was Henderson. Yeah. Oof. Celebrated, fell, broke it. Was it his wrist?
Yeah, or maybe forearm. It looked bad. The way he fell. So, bummer. It's tough luck. But overall, props to England.
Props to England. Great match. Yeah, and then their match before that versus the DR Congo, Congo almost upset them. It would have been. I was saying and watching that game. I remember I was like, Congo upsets them, Mexico's going to be happy because it's a more manageable game. But England, Harry Kane's a stud, man. Like I said, he's almost like an older Holland because he could do nothing for 80 minutes, and then the last 10 minutes he's going to show up and he's going to win the game for the team.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he's like a England sure thing. Literally like scoring those back-to-back goals at the end of that Congo game. Yep, gave them a run for their money, and it's just a good reminder of how great Harry Kane has been for a long time. And it's like, oh well, nope, no surprise. Here it is. So,
No,
and
no,
then again, scoring another goal against Mexico.
yeah. So still on that run for Golden Boot. We'll go to one of the next games, Belgium versus Senegal. This was a good game. I don't know why some of my scores got deleted. But Belgium winning it, was it 3-2?
I think that's right.
Yeah, and I think this was a bit of a controversial one because is this the one where they scored at the end to tie? I can't even remember. It's so much soccer.
This was
Let me
one
see.
of those matches I didn't pay much attention to.
Okay, so yeah, I think Belgium was like, it looked like Belgium was going to lose this, but Senegal was going to win, but they came back, ended up winning it. Very good game.
Oh,
Uh,
yes. They scored twice in like no, I think that Senegal was up 2-0. And
yeah,
then they scored three times. I think they scored twice at the end of the match, and then the final one was in overtime.
yeah, yeah. So it was a really good game. Oh yeah, Portugal Croatia is the one that I thought was like a little controversial. But
Yes.
yeah, Belgium coming back. I was hoping for a Senegal win, but Belgium's a solid squad. I've said it here before. I've always said it prior. Belgium has so many great players. Why they've never made a deep run? It's because they've always just kicked themselves in the foot, and have blown games. And it almost looked like they were about to do that this game. So big win for them. And then we'll sort of talk about the game today, which for us, unfortunate. USA Belgium. Let's just be honest. Put a spank into the US. B2A. We could say. Tough loss for the USA. Belgium just looked strong. And the crazy thing, Belgium did it without probably their two best players in the game. Kevin De Bruyne and Jeremy Doku, they weren't playing at all that first half when they were dominating. And then Lukaku came in second. Doku came in the second. Kevin De Bruyne didn't play this game at all. He's rested for their next game, which is going to be great for him and that team. So shout out to Belgium. It shows how some of these European teams are still at a notch higher than the CONCACAF, so USA, Mexico. Like I said, you can say the same thing for the England game, but yeah, shout out to Belgium. I'll let you go, and then I'll give you my take on the USA.
Yeah. Um, Lukaku, dude, just realized he had over 90 goals, international goals. The dude's like
Yep.
top dog on, way up there on the list.
Yeah.
And I'm just barely figuring out about him. I mean, that's kind of how it goes when you're new to the sport. But he had a great goal at the end of the U.S. match.
Yeah.
Obviously, a stud player. And it goes to show he was only in there in the final minutes of that match, and just if they have him chilling on the bench and he can come in and score a goal like that, and I think it was his third match in a row with a goal. It's not only a great team, but it's a very deep team, and they just have a lot of threats there. They just looked very, very good. The comeback that they had against Senegal, speaks highly of them. Us kind of having this great ride with the Kiwis. Unfortunately, that was the curtain call for the Kiwis, was facing Belgium, and come to find out, maybe I saw myself as being slightly more naive than I should have been. But I'm a big believer. And Belgium's just a hell of a team. Great team. And like you said, a team that looks so talented, is surprising that they haven't had more success in the past. So again, maybe this is a squad that builds off of this tournament, no matter if they win it all or, make it really far, as they already have. Yeah, they look solid. They look really good. They can compete with anybody.
Yeah, no, they can't compete with anybody. So it's kudos to Belgium. My USA take: played their worst game in the tournament. Man, this was a horrible game. The entire game, I was just frustrated with the way they were playing. Defensively, they just weren't on it this game. Their passing was just bad, just not accurate, very just half-ass, I would want to say it. The goals, honestly, just mistakes as well. The first one, I'll give it to them, but it's like it gets headed out. Nobody covers the guy, and the guy just sort of walks into the box, crosses it. It's like everybody was just standing there with their hands in their pockets doing nothing. And then second one, Tim Ream just got sort of manhandled by that header. That dude just jumped on top of him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, in NBA terms.
Yeah.
The third goalie. This goalie's gonna have nightmares for years.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel bad for him, but also mistake that you shouldn't be making at this professional level. Unfortunate for the team. I think, like I said, they played their worst game of the tournament when they had to be on it. I mentioned it at the beginning when we started this. If USA could play games perfectly, they could make a deep run. I think they were on track to make a deep run, but this just hurt them. And yeah, like I say, I'm disappointed in the team. I think the team could have been set up a little bit better. But hats off to them, because, like I said, they showed that they could do it. This team's only getting, I want to say, better from what I've seen from some of the young talent in our player pool that weren't called up, that are going to get 4 years of experience, especially those playing in Europe. I think we'll be a team to fear in the next World Cup if we could keep it up.
Yeah. No, there's extremely great talent on this US team. This is the best we've looked in a long time, and I think it's something to really build off of. This whole tournament altogether is a huge success, from the managing to the players. Just everything altogether is just a really solid tournament for the US. As far as this match goes, the US looked like the US, not the USA, it was the US of old. It's just utter crap. It was just terrible play. They looked like what we've seen the last decade. I haven't even watched that much football leading up to this, but I know enough about US soccer and how bad it's been for the men's. The women's phenomenal. Men's, cheeks. And we got paddled to cheeks today by Belgium. And it was every single goal, in my opinion, there was at least some type of dynamic to it that the US just fudged it real bad. The first one just couldn't clear it. Nobody looked like they were showing aggressiveness to the ball to get it cleared or remove it from the box. And then, like you said, easy lane to the box and just crossing it, and then the header to go in. Easy business. The second one, that was the one that the third goal that Tim Raines got posterized.
That was the second goal.
That was the second goal. So yeah, the posterization. I mean, not much you can do on it, but the one thing I guess I could have seen was where that ball was coming through. The defender made no attempt at even trying to jump up to deflect it slightly.
Yeah.
There was none of that. They just kind of let it go over their heads. And then, of course, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to have that beast in the middle to freaking header it in. The third goal, the goalie goal, we'll call it, because that was just, again, I feel for the goalie, but man, that was bad. Like, it looked like a case of the yips, or like You know, like those feelings when you're in a dream and you're trying to run or you're trying to
Mhm.
kick something or whatever. It looked like you're trying your hardest to kick something, but your foot keeps dragging and getting
Yeah.
blocked. That's exactly what happened to him. I don't know what was going through his mind not to kick it. I don't know if he was worried about the defender around him. He's going to kick him. I don't think, again, you shouldn't worry about that. And again, you could maybe use it to your advantage and flop on it. But yeah, that was really ugly. And then to top it off, Lukaku coming in and having that great goal on another ball that they couldn't clear. So hot mess. To be honest with you, I'm down about it because it's just been, Mexico is a heartbreak. Then you lead into this, it's a heartbreak. But again, we've lived through many U.S. teams that aren't great,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, we've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't abnormal. I think it just stung a little bit because of how well we played throughout the tournament. It looked like it could have been our year. And honestly, and it's not just because I'm from USA, because I thought the same for Mexico. I saw a USA Mexico final. The way these teams were playing, like that last round of 32, I was like, both these teams could play like this every single game and get the wins. They're going to be in the final, and that's going to be an amazing final on U.S. soil. Just a classic of the Giants here in CONCACAF to win their first World Cup. One of the countries was going to be their first World Cup, so it would have been amazing. But yeah, the goalie, like you say, I think you catch it perfectly. The case of the yips, he was gonna kick it, he just got his foot stuck. I think he was panicking, he was nervous, and just flat tired his toe and gave it to the player, and that's all it takes when you make plays like that. So it's an unfortunate result for the USA. We'll see what happens with them. Like I said, I think USA has a lot of potential in the future. I think Mexico does as well, but sort of like how I was talking with Rob, Mexico and those players that are playing in the Mexican league have to start letting their young players go to Europe. Getting that experience in Europe, you can't say you're going to be homegrown built because it hasn't worked out for so many years. You've never gotten out of the round of 16. And the people that are always getting out of the round of 16 and winning are European teams or Argentina, Brazil, where all their players are playing in Europe. So it shows that Europe is where you have to go to sort of be elite at the moment. Could it change in the future? Possibly. Could be in maybe 10 years. You got to play in New Zealand to be the top players, but for the moment, Europe is a place to be, and hopefully Mexico, these Mexican teams start letting their players go develop there, especially their young players.
Yeah, sounds like Mora will get the opportunity. I heard Liverpool came calling
Liverpool.
today.
Mm-hmm.
So great opportunity. But again, you mentioned it too, John. EPL might be, I think Rob kind of tandemed it too. Might not be the best of destinations for a guy like Mora, being so young and he's on the smaller side, but maybe it'll toughen him up and make him an even better player. But it's much more physical there compared to some of the other, primetime leagues around Europe. But again, maybe it'll toughen up. Maybe it'll be really good for him.
Yeah.
Can't say no to a guy like, team like Liverpool if they
No,
come
you
calling.
can't. Yeah. You got to say yes. But yeah, that's that game. Then we'll go Spain, Austria. They took care of business there, 3-0. They played today, beat Portugal towards the end, 1-0, 1-0. Spain has looked good at times, but then hasn't looked as impressive at times. Today against Portugal. Portugal's a great team. Solid squad overall. So great win for them. I think they're on a good track to maybe making it to the finals. I think I want to talk more Portugal. And I'm not going to throw salt into a wound, but it's an unfortunate result for Portugal. Ronaldo. The big thing, tough loss because, like I said, we know it was his last World Cup. We know after today he's hanging up his cleats internationally. If he makes it to the next World Cup, he's a cyborg. You got to research how he could do it, but most likely he won't. I think he probably shouldn't have been playing much of the game. I think his age is a big factor. You needed a lot of speed up front, and I think they needed someone younger that would have put a lot more explosiveness into the game. But Ronaldo did do a lot, probably had some of the best opportunities on the during the game. So tough loss for Portugal, like Portugal. But Spain, my favorite, still in the tournament, so I'm okay with the result.
Yeah, your favorite's still there, John. Lamine Yamal, kind of non-existent, right? I haven't watched a whole lot of these Espana games, but I've been seeing like a growing meme of like everybody's goals, like, oh, 7 goals for Mbappe, Messi, blah blah blah, and then you get down to Lamine, it just says the hyphen, then Yamal. It's because a lot of people are kind of getting after him, like he's this gigantic name and up and coming in all of football, and just you haven't heard much from him. So I don't know if that's how that's seen. Hopefully he's fresh for these final games, and that's he'll come alive. I don't know, but Spain, kind of doing Spain things. We all expect them to be here. They're a fantastic team, and they're showing it. Portugal side of things, really tough week for Rob. Quick shout out to Rob. Mexico lost his hero. Maybe the last time he sees him play in international play is Cristiano Ronaldo. Has his sister kind of breaking the news at first, and he's just one of those players you tune into, regardless of what he's going to do. But I kind of brought it up to you with that Croatia game, and they kind of got it done without Ronaldo in there. And it was like, man, if you're getting subbed out in crunch time, it goes to show kind of how the team feels at where you're at in your career. So it's time. A really tough Band-Aid for anybody to pull. But again, it's time. Portugal, has a lot of great elements to the team. They seem like a very good team, and hopefully a lot to build off of. And hopefully he'll keep his influence within the international team. And I don't know any ambitions to coach. He certainly doesn't have to. But I don't know, like ambassador to the team, anything that he can do to kind of influence it in the future, I think would be really good for them. So but yeah, Spain proving to be top dog.
Yeah, no, for sure. With Yamal, I think Yamal has played great when he has played. He came into this tournament a little injured. I think everybody, when they hear that name, how great he is, what he was doing in Barcelona, I think a lot of people were just expecting him to score a lot of goals. But when you see him on the pitch, he is a difference maker. A lot of teams pay attention to him and focus on him, and he opens up a lot of lanes. And it's sort of that thing in sports where it's like, Justin Jefferson in football, in American football, you got to double team him. When you do that, it's going to open up the lane for Jordan Addison. It's going to open up the lane for Hawkinson, and it's going to give these people opportunities to make the plays. Justin Jefferson's still going to get his because you got to go to him. But like I say, in football, soccer, it's a little different. Lamine Yamal still does the Lamine Yamal stuff, but just because he isn't scoring goals, he's giving those opportunities to his team. And I think he's done a lot of great. And like I said, this kid's 19. He's going to be here for such a long time. So this is his first experience with this. He's taking it all in, learning from the veterans, and he'll show up. Like I say, I don't doubt it.
Yeah, for sure. It's certainly one of those things that everybody knows how good he is, but everybody's very impatient with wanting to see the full success. But you bring up a great point. I know you mentioned it too back when Spain played Cabo Verde to start the tournament, and you said that he came in late in the game because of injury, but the difference he made in that short amount of time, if he would have been in there longer, that might have been a different story.
Yeah, it would have been. So, but that's Spain, and then Portugal. The Croatia game, I will say, Croatia got robbed. Should have been tied. Should have gone into extra time. who knows what could have happened. Portugal probably still could have won it. But yeah, you mentioned it on our text. I think it was just between us. They took out Ronaldo. Once they took out Ronaldo, they played a lot better, and it just shows like nothing against Ronaldo, but 41. You don't have the same legs. You have some of the same powers. You have some of the same abilities, but the speed. You need the speed. We saw it with the Mexico game. I forget the player from England, but that guy was just taking on that left side, outrunning the Mexico defender. And it's like without the speed, you just suffer. I think it's Gordon, maybe.
Gordon. Yep, number 18.
But it's like Ronaldo doesn't have that up front. And when you're a forward, you need to have the speed because people are just going to kick it and you got to go for it. So, unfortunate for Portugal. Like I said, Simpson's prediction got eliminated this past weekend with Portugal losing, Mexico losing. So unfortunate for them, but yeah, that was Portugal. Next game, Switzerland, Algeria. Probably the least interesting game for a lot of people. Switzerland winning it 2-0. They're playing tonight. How tomorrow for us is still not midnight yet. That'll be an interesting game for them. They are going up against Colombia. But yeah, they're still an impressive team. After that, Australia versus Egypt. Little disappointed with Australia. Was hoping, Australia, the little brother. I call them the little brother to New Zealand. Thought they were going to hopefully take the win. But Egypt, they got Mo Salah. They got some veteran, players there. So kudos to them. They're also playing tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big game for them. Egypt against Argentina.
Yeah, no, really big game. The Egypt's looked very, very good. Mo Salah, has had a very good tournament. And in Egypt altogether, really putting them on the map. It turned into something that is they won their first World Cup match, and now it's just turned into like how far are they going to go? It's a very talented team. One that we kind of discussed that it's just one of those hidden talents. So phenomenal. We'll see where it takes them. Again, a lot of Kiwis I saw, flying Kiwis. Shout out Matt. A lot of the group stuck around to kind of root on the Aussies. So props to them. Hell of a fan base as well. Yeah. Love that fan base. Saw them march through a Walmart after the match. They just lost. Still have, chanting. Walking through, they're like, oh, we're going to Walmart. And then they all walk through. And just a fun group. So shout out the Aussies.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then I'll say probably one of the most interesting games of this round of round of 32 going into 16. Argentina versus Cape Verde. Argentina winning this one 3-2. Dude, Cape Verde, give that entire team keys to the entire country. Like there has to be monuments created for them because once they tied it, I wanted them to win it. Even though I love Argentina, I think they could win it again and repeat. I just wanted to see Cape Verde win it. I was rooting for the little guy.
Yeah, no, likewise. It's again, referencing back to when we were choosing teams, man, it was just one of those teams that came across. I'm like, just good vibes, right off the name. And it's a team that, man, they are talented. Like, just they pack a punch. Was talking with Miguel about this team too, and it's a team that hustles and they don't give up on plays. Like they are relentless, and it's from the goalkeeping all the way, pushing, to their forwards. Like they had some phenomenal shots too. That one, that second goal that they had from distance, we were all talking about it in the group chat. Phenomenal. And then what a cool environment that he goes up and, hugs his significant other in the stands. you can tell how much it means to them. Saw footage of them flying back into Cabo Verde or Cape Verde, as they were saying it, and the welcoming that they're getting on their way back. The whole country's lining up for them. Well deserved, and I really hope we see some great opportunities open up for all those players, because they are really fun to watch.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are going to start getting a lot of call ups. Even Watina, the goalie, or what was Ina? I think he'll probably get a nice little contract to still play somewhere because he showed a lot. And a team, like I say, as a goalie, it's probably the one position you could play into your 40s. Because, like I say, you're not running as much as the players on the field, defense, midfielders, attackers. So, big win. And then, like I say, Messi just doing Messi stuff, man. Like I say, yes, they were struggling, but Messi did what Messi does best. Why I still would say he is the GOAT, of his era. And yeah, and like I say, I think a lot of people thought this was a gimme game for them. I would say I probably thought it too, but after hearing Messi talk about the game, what Cape Verde did leading up to this, it wasn't a gimme game. They tied Spain, they beat they tied Uruguay, and they eliminated Uruguay, one of the top teams, in this tournament. So it shows that they were a team to be scared of, and Argentina, I think, maybe was a little scared of them, but also a little too confident. That's why it was so close.
Yeah, no, they pretty much beat up on Uruguay so bad that they canceled their flight home. It was real bad. So yeah, really solid team. Messi, incredible. And it continues to be a talking point. It's like, yeah, Messi's a little bit younger than Ronaldo is, but they're both at that same point in their career where, this very well is both of their very last World Cup, and it probably will be. And but it's still like the question comes up, if like Ronaldo gets subbed out late in that game, you can't ever find yourself doing that with Messi. It's just different. And I don't know, we add 4 years to Messi. Even then, if you still do something like that, I just don't see it. Like, he's too valuable. He does too much, and he's proven that this entire tournament.
Yeah, I think if for some reason Messi can make it to another World Cup, I don't think you start him, but I think you bring him in like the last 20 minutes if your team needs that little boost.
Mm-hmm.
If you're struggling, see what difference he can make, because he can still be a difference maker.
Absolutely.
But we'll sort of see. But yeah, that was that game. Then Ghana winning 1-0. Like I said, Ghana was another team I told you was a team to be watch out for. They played really well, but Colombia did the work they needed to do. So shout out to Colombia. It's a team I'm sort of rooting for this tournament.
Yeah, Colombia's looked very, very good. Watched several of their games. It kind of just meets the expectations of what you have for them. They're just a powerhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, and then one of the last games that we haven't talked about, Canada versus Morocco. Morocco got out of their first round of 32. They played Canada. Put a whooping on Canada, 3-0. Morocco just showing that I think a lot of people probably thought the last tournament in Qatar 2022, it was a little bit of a juke that they almost made it to the finals. But I think what they're showing this tournament again, they're showing that they're real. It's a real team. It wasn't just like that. They're an actual talented squad, and yeah, it's a team. Every team left in this tournament should watch out for.
Yeah, based off of my predictions, it's the only team I can kind of hold on to, with them being my dark horse choice. Phenomenal team. Has kind of run through everybody pretty well, and just, I don't know, ton of great talent on it. And when it comes to Canada, the Canadian manager kind of gave me the vibes of the Cleveland Cavaliers coach, saying that that they were the better team. It's like, dude, you just got whooped 3-0. Like better team? not today. It's it just gave me the exact vibes of that. I don't know what game he was watching, but um, yeah, nope. Canada honestly made it further than I think we thought an aspect, because they're pretty banged up. You talked a lot about the injuries that they're dealing with, and yeah, but rough weekend for host nations.
Yeah, all host nations eliminated in the round of 16. So unfortunate, none of them were able to get through. But yeah, now we're off. We'll talk about the upcoming games tomorrow. 2 games, the last 2 games of the round of 16. Argentina versus Egypt and Switzerland versus Colombia. Argentina, Egypt. It's going to be a good game. Like I say, Egypt is a team that to be careful of. Argentina should take this, but the way Argentina's played some of these games, they should be concerned.
Yeah, no, very much so. I think that they should be very concerned. I think it's going to be a really close match through most of it. I feel like it's going to be one of those games that is just a 1 point separator, and it could be like a 2-1 game, and it's a late goal by Argentina doing it. So yeah, that's kind of where I see it going, because Egypt is just, I don't think that Argentina would underestimate them by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a team that is better, I feel like, than you even think they will be.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just
Yeah.
have that hidden talent. So yeah, I see it like 2-1 Argentina.
Yeah. Argentina should be able to take this game. I was thinking about the same, probably 2-1, 3-1. But yeah, don't count out Egypt. And then Colombia, Switzerland. I truly think Colombia is just a better team than Switzerland. Switzerland making it this far in the tournament, you got to tip your hat off to them. It's not easy to make it to this round of the tournament, but Colombia, I think, has a better squad. Luis Diaz, one of the better attacking stars of this tournament. I don't know if Switzerland could even get past that Colombian team defensively.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Colombia has this one. To be honest with you, shame on me. I don't know if I can name one Switzerland player. in shame on me, but again, amateur.
Yeah.
But phenomenal that they've made it this far, and maybe it's due in part that I haven't hyper focused on them because their matchups haven't been. They've not saying that they've skated their way through by any stretch, but just playing teams that they beat who they was in front of them. So and they've done a great job doing it. So but yeah, I just Colombia, having seen more of their stuff, they're a solid team.
Yeah. Like I said, Colombia shouldn't underestimate Switzerland, but it should be an easier matchup. But that's the last of the round. Winners of those 2 games will face each other in the quarterfinals. But then we go into the matches there, and this is where it gets interesting. First game, July 9th, France versus Morocco. This is the rematch of 2022 Qatar semifinals. France winning it 2-0. Morocco's only gotten better. France has only gotten better as well. So it's going to be an awesome matchup. Morocco's out here for revenge. Wanted to take out the team that took them out of their possible chance of making it to a final, the last World Cup.
For sure. Yeah. But again, I chose Morocco as a dark horse. I'm going to back them. I'll be rooting them on, but I could see it having the same result of 2-0. Just putting it out there. France is scary good for anybody on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And, it's so hard to go against them.
Yeah, it's hard to go against France because even their bench is so deep. Anybody they bring in that second half, it's like defenders don't get a break because they're still star quality players that France could have a France A, France B squad, and they both could meet in the finals. That's how good France is. But like I say, Morocco is a team that they've been resilient. They've been pushing. They've won some of these close games. They beat the Netherlands. they could win it. So they have a solid squad, but I do see France pulling off an upset, or not an upset, but I see them pulling off a win. But don't be surprised if Morocco could do it.
Great. It's going to be a
Yeah.
great game.
Yeah. The following game, Spain versus Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
This I think will be a good game. The way if Belgium plays the way they've played the last game against USA and towards the end versus Senegal, it's a scary team. And Spain is going to be on high alert because they haven't been as impressive. They haven't been able to dominate these matchups. But quality of players, I think Spain pulls it off. I think they're still the better team than Belgium. But like I say, Spain hasn't been utterly impressive this entire tournament. So I could see Belgium pulling off an upset. I would have wished it was USA pulling off that upset win, though.
Yeah, that would have been really nice, especially having Canada and Mexico having already lost leading into that match. But having seen Belgium knock out two of the teams we love, the Kiwis, then leading into the U.S., I'm gonna go against you here, John, and I'm gonna go with Belgium beating Spain. The team just looks really, really good. They're a very deep team. They seem to be managed really well. They show great control. I feel like that was another thing against the U.S. is they really controlled it. And the U.S. is a team that got off to hot starts every single match leading up to that point. And for them to come out in the 8th minute and already score, just control is a big deal. And they take advantage of mistakes and don't live you down. So, again, Spain, absolute powerhouse, but I'll go against you. I kind of like Belgium, and maybe
Yeah.
I'll even say 3-1.
Okay.
Crazy,
Yeah.
but I'll say
it. Anything is possible in this part of the tournament, so I wouldn't be surprised if that is the score. I think it'll be a good game. Like I said, all these games coming up, I wish they just would wait till the weekend, not do it during work hours because everybody wants to enjoy it. But yeah, it'll be good. And then the last game that's sort of already set up, like I say, the last game in this round will probably be Argentina versus Colombia, but we're not going to say that yet because we just don't know. But Norway versus England, I think this is probably the best, or probably the most interesting matchup of this round of the tournament. Norway, I think a team not many people thought were going to make it this far. I think what was a dark horse team that I probably thought of, but it was their first time back, Holland's first World Cup. Just felt like they might have cracked a little bit, but they've proved me so wrong. And then England, like I said, another team that's just they're finally performing. They haven't done what the Cowboys do and lose it, but you never know. They could still be the Cowboys.
Who's your choice for this one?
I'm gonna go. I've been thinking about it, and I'm gonna go Norway. I want to go Norway. I want Norway to win.
Yeah, I'm going to back you with that one. Norway's who I want, not only for my take. I just feel like I can't choose England, even though that's Ancestry.com has me because England is my second greatest percentage of my muttness. But I really like Norway, and I've become a really big fan of. I think his name is Erling Holland. I don't think you pronounce the ER, evidently. I saw some video about it today. It's fascinating. But anyways, Holland. I big fan of his play. Him off the field seems like a real character, fun guy. And he's just an absolute beast. He's so much fun. And I want to watch more Holland with Norway. So, yep, gonna go Norway. I think the buck stops here for England.
Yeah, it could.
I don't know where they're playing, but it's gonna be hot.
They're playing. Miami.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it's hot.
Humidity. It's going to be a 5 p.m. game, so humidity is at its peak. Or it's lower. It's getting lower, but still, Miami humidity is tough, and that's where they struggled.
That's where they struggled. Yeah, it is. That's where when they first got here, they were sunburned. I think they're still sunburned. Brutal. Yeah. No, it's see, this is the test of my little theory here. Soft. Let's go Norway.
Yeah, I have Norway winning it. But yeah, I wouldn't, like I say, if England wins it, I'm not going to be surprised. But I think I want Norway to win this one. But yeah, so those are the games coming up, and I think one of the last questions I've had for you, Tim, it's your first year watching it the first time you watch it, like dedicated, not just because you go to these family parties and it's what people are watching, but really watching it, following it. Expansion of 48 teams. It was from 32 to 48. Do you think it's been a success?
Massive. I don't have a ton to compare it to, and maybe there's going to be quite a few people who think otherwise, but I mean, expanding it to, you said 48 teams, correct? We're being able to be introduced to teams like Cabo Verde, right? And we're seeing another qualification of New Zealand and the Kiwis. We're seeing, all of these teams come through. I think Scotland was a benefactor of that as well, if I'm not mistaken. Phenomenal, because not only the teams that we get to enjoy on the field and the pitch, the fan aspect and what it's turned into. I think that that North America has done a phenomenal job with this World Cup, and I think it can repeat in other countries. But I think it's phenomenal, and I think that's a big deal of why my thought process behind a lot of, like, even the Brazil thing, the equal playing field. I feel like we're starting to see a lot of that. I think that we can grasp a certain aspect of things that we, kind of can like accept upsets in these tournaments. People freak out so much about like their team dropping out and stuff like that. But let's just say, Cabo Verde did beat Argentina. If I were, now again, I'm not from Argentina. I don't have, this massive, allegiance to that club. But if Cabo Verde beat Argentina and knocked them out, a big part of me would want to just keep rooting on Cabo Verde and be like, you know what? Hell yeah. What a badass team. They come in here, they spanked us, and let's see them through. I don't know if Mexico fans are planning to do that with England. I mean, I'm choosing Belgium to beat Spain. They just, knocked out the US. So again, I love the aspect of this. I like how they do it in other sports. I'm a fan of it in college football. A lot of people aren't, but I am. I think that it gives people a chance, and this could make or break people's careers too. And I love to see opportunity for everybody. So I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah,
it was a good time. Thanks, Sean.
I'm on the same. I'm on the same page. I think this expansion. At first, I was probably a little iffy about it. I was like, "Oh, more." I was like, "How good is it going to be? Is the quality going to be just shit during the group stage?" But it's been a success, I think. Like you say, Cabo Verde, New Zealand, Curacao, Scotland. It's made so many great stories, just not just on the pitch, but the fans. Like I say, what Scotland did to Boston and then to Miami, where even in Boston, like once Scotland left, they closed all their bars for the England fans because they're like, no, we're dedicated to the Scottish people. It's like those stories, seeing these fan bases that probably don't always go on to the big stage, keep Cabo Verde. Like this is a country that is going to start developing amazing football players because people are going to be looking at Cabo Verde players because of what they showed this World Cup, competing with Argentina, Uruguay, and these teams they've played. New Zealand, like I say, there's been so much. We're big Kiwi fans and supporters of New Zealand, and some of these players, Elijah Just is going to be making some moves into the big leagues, and talking to Ryan with South Island United, like what they're doing in New Zealand, and just opening us our eyes and knowledge to other countries, what they're doing to develop their football players has been amazing. I think for our end. And I think other people are sort of watching either our content or other people's content because you're seeing so much of it. And I think that's what's been the biggest success to this, on top of great games. A lot of those have been great games, Curacao. Yes, they didn't make it past the group stage, but they scored against Germany. Nobody expected them to score against Germany. That was already a win in the books. Yeah, they lost 7-1, but they scored a goal against the Germans, the team that probably should have been in this quarterfinals right now. So it's crazy to sort of see. And like I say, I think it's been a success. I'm happy how it's turned out. And I'm excited to see future World Cups because, like I said, we're going to see other countries that probably haven't been there at all ever. And we're going to be big fans of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we're going to continue to see new teams come through each and every 4 years now. And it's going to be phenomenal every time. So the expansion, well worth it. And then, I mean, from FIFA's standpoint, I'm sure the profitability is through the roof.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they're loving it also. So yeah, big fan, big advocate of it. Timing was great for me, at least, being able to reap the rewards of how great it's been. So excited for the next one. 4 years is going to take a long time. Wish maybe they can condense that for us.
You never know. Yeah, there's a lot of tournaments, UEFA, the Nations League, stuff like that. So, but that's our Wolfpack soccer check-in. Like I said, the content could go on forever. We could continue talking about it, but we'll go into our last segment, Reel on the Rocks. This is where we talk movies, TV shows, streaming hits, just everything happening around the world of entertainment and movies, TV. And we'll sort of just go into our summer blockbuster movie check-in. I had one movie come out this past weekend, The Minions and Monsters. And I will say, once I saw the numbers, not happy.
Okay.
Not happy. Right. So, Minions and Monsters made a total of $37,003,505. So, I was hoping in the 50s. That's where I was aiming for this movie. In total, I am at 288,119,986, and all I have is Spider-Man left. You're at 207,603,782, and you have Moana coming out this weekend that nobody's going to go watch.
Let's see it.
And then
come on,
the big one right after that, Odyssey.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna for me.
It's gonna come down to the wire. I think how Moana ends up, and then the Odyssey. Like I say, Spider-Man's the last movie that comes out of this tournament for this game for us. So I'll know what numbers I have to hit once after the Odyssey weekend.
Yeah. So my thinking going into Moana, and Disney live action has been pretty hit or miss in from what I've kind of seen. So I am worried. I do have concerns. Certainly not feeling overly confident, anything like that. That's why I have slight sigh of relief with Minions. I think I need at least 65 to 70 mil out of Moana minimum for me to feel more comfortable, because I want it as equal as possible going into this, because I think Spider-Man, we saw the Messi clip. That's again, I think it's collusion. And then we got Little Caesars yesterday. It's all over the box. Like I need to know what you're doing in the background, because the Odyssey is not getting the attention.
Yeah. No, I think it's just Spider-Man, I think it's just a little bit more kid-friendly. I think that's why it gets promoted a little bit more. Odyssey, though, like, even though it's not kid-friendly, there's going to be people that watch it twice. I saw a review today. Someone's already seen it twice, once in IMAX, once regular, and they say it is a perfect movie. Rave reviews.
Heard it here first. Come on.
And honestly, I'll tell you right now, I don't want to help the cause for you, but gonna go watch it on IMAX that Friday. Excellent. Going to TLC Chinese Theater, so paid a little bit more for IMAX. So you're welcome, Tim.
Thank you so much. That is great. And do popcorn bucket sales count towards the
no
strictly tickets?
No.
I wonder if there's an Odyssey bucket out there.
There is, I think. One of them was just like a movie reel, like the old school cinema, like how you record movies.
That's
because yeah. I think that's all I saw. Moana buckets.
The wig?
Maybe. Not much I see from Moana.
It's like The Rock's pecs.
Imagine.
It opens up.
Like they got to do like a little mini paddle. You open up the paddle, popcorn in there. Something like that.
That could become a problem in my house. Maybe with young children, that thing is going to get swung around like crazy. Great idea, though. I like it.
Yeah. So the Odyssey one, they have two. They have the Trojan horse.
Sick.
Look, where the popcorn comes out of, it's where I question it right now. No.
The tail.
No. It's out of the front. The other end. And it has his legs up.
Supergirl. Superwoman.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. No.
So a little problem, but the other one, which I think is a cool one, is the IMAX screen, video camera. You could say.
That's cool.
Yeah, that one's a pretty cool one.
It's gonna be a badass movie, but I do worry. I'm very concerned that Spider-Man beats it. I wouldn't be surprised.
I hope it does. I need it too.
Be surprised, but
yeah,
I'm gonna be. The Rock's been everywhere for this film. You know, he went to New Zealand, Australia. He went to Brazil. He went to the UK. Dude's been everywhere. He went to China.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and I think they're doing that because they got to promote this to win, to do well. I think they got in their reviews. They know it's not going to be top grossing, but you know, and like I say, Spider-Man I think isn't promoting as much because Tom Holland, Zendaya, they're doing Odyssey promotions leading up to that. So it's like they're only going to have 2 weeks. So that's why we got to do commercials. We got to do pizza boxes, you know. Subway, get on it. You got Moana right now, but once Moana's out or once it releases, put Spider-Man in there with the glizzies. You know, New York, glizzy heaven. So,
you're just trying to take Subway, the New York Subway, the glizzy. God, unreal. It's just, I mean, I get it. You know, it's, but people want to see The Rock. You see him with the Fabio hair.
The Fabio.
It's gonna work well. I think it's gonna be great.
I'll see if I watch it. I'll see if I watch it. I'm 50-50.
You want to sing along. You know you want to sing along.
We'll see if they have the songs. You never know.
Yeah, but he performed it in the UK. Or no, it was Brazil. I think he was Waterfront.
Yeah.
And he was singing it. So it's got some pipes, you know, you can sing.
Yeah.
Maybe Terramana will do a little side-by-side with Moana and get it going.
Maybe.
Love
but
it.
yeah, but that's a movie challenge. I didn't go see Minions, so I can't really give you guys a review.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Next movie I see, I'll give a review. That's going to wrap up today's episode of Banter on the Rocks. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out, bantering with us today. And as always, your support keeps this thing growing every single week. So if you enjoyed the episode today, do us that favor, hit that subscribe, hit that follow button. thumbs, really leave a rating, bookmark us, whatever it is to get those alerts when we drop new clips, new full-length videos, and share with somebody that loves talking about soccer, loves talking sports, movies, pop culture, and just some chaotic debates. Like I said, we're here doing this for fun and also just sharing our knowledge. And as always, don't forget to jump into the comments with your banter takes of the week.
Absolutely. And stay tuned. Been working on some things in the background. So hopefully some really cool guests, first appearances, repeat appearances will be coming up. And stay tuned because those are always a ton of fun. Those are a great bread and butter for John and I of the show, or getting new people on here and getting to know them as, along with everybody else. So, and of course, bantering along the way as we always do. But thank you so much for each and every one of you watching us each and every week. And peace. Enjoy the football.
Enjoy it.
Little accent.